Hi, my name is Jessica Ingebrigtsen, and my report is on the U.S. relations with Pakistan. On August 14, 1947, Pakistan officially became a nation, and the U.S. was one of the first countries to give Pakistan full diplomatic recognition. The 1950s were a good decade between the U.S. and Pakistan. In 1954, they signed the Mutual Defense Assistance Agreement, and the U.S. set up a military assistance advisory group in Pakistan, which helped provide aid and modernize and bulk up Pakistan's defenses in order to help keep it out of the hands of the communist Soviet Union. In 1960, Pakistan gave permission for the U.S. to fly their U-2 spy plane out of Peshawar's airbase and into Soviet Union territory. Fortunately, it was shot down, and Pakistan denied all knowledge of the operation, which led to the first crack in the glue that held these two countries together as allies. When India and China went to war, the U.S. supported India to help against its communist enemies. Pakistan did not like that, as they saw the U.S. as their ally and India as their enemy, and they didn't like that the two were working together. Following that war, India and China went to war, and instead of backing Pakistan like Pakistan assumed, they withdrew military support from both countries, deciding that they would be a neutral party. This led to a cooling of U.S. and Pakistani ties. The 70s were a big decade for their relationship, both good and bad. Pakistan played a large role in opening a relationship between China and the U.S., resulting in President Nixon making the first U.S. presidential trip to China. However, when East and West Pakistan went to war, the U.S. decided to step back and suspended military aid to Pakistan, not wanting to take sides. This caused a lot of Pakistanis to begin to see the U.S. as an unreliable ally. This is when nuclear weapons started to come a little bit more into play, as India started working on their program and Pakistan started working on theirs. The beginning of 1980, the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan. The U.S. worked with Pakistan and provided aid and arms to help them flush out the Soviets out of Afghanistan. This war lasted the entire decade of the 80s. As the Soviets pulled out of Afghanistan, the U.S. promptly disengaged from Pakistan. Pakistan had heavily felt the effects of the war in Afghanistan, and many became disillusioned with the U.S. when they failed to stay and help them put their pieces back together. During the 90s, India and Pakistan both declared themselves nuclear weapon states, and the U.S. once again placed sanctions on them. On Pakistan. After the September 11th attacks on the U.S., we again turned to Pakistan for help with problems in the Middle East. The U.S. funneled billions of dollars worth of aid to support Pakistan. In exchange, Pakistan supported the U.S. by officially withdrawing their support from the Taliban regime, which was now ruling Afghanistan. Relations quickly became strained because Pakistan wasn't happy with the drone strikes that were happening in their northwestern borders, and the U.S. wasn't happy because there were reports surfacing accusing Pakistan of using the money that they received for the war on terror to instead strengthen their defenses against India. However, despite that, the first couple of years seemed to go well. The Taliban seemed to be taken care of, and so the U.S. announced plans to slowly withdraw from Afghanistan. This alarmed Pakistan greatly, especially after what had just happened with the Soviet Union-Afghan war. They allowed the Taliban to regroup inside of their borders, and it again gained power, and threats to security in both the U.S. and Great Britain were traced back to the Afghan-Pakistani border. In 2011, Osama bin Laden was located and killed in a U.S. military operation. The Pakistan military was not informed of this operation until after it had happened, because at that point there was heavy suspicion that Pakistan wasn't being as helpful as it let on. It was later confirmed by Pakistan Defense Minister Ahmed Mukhtar that President Zardari, the army chief, and the ISI all knew that bin Laden had been hiding out in Abbottabad. Relations between the U.S. and Pakistan have not gotten any better in the years that have followed. President Trump tweeted earlier last year that the U.S. had foolishly given Pakistan more than $33 billion in aid over the last 15 years, and that they had given us nothing but lies and deceit, thinking of our leaders as fools. They gave safe haven to terrorists that we hunted in Afghanistan with little help. No more. Although Pakistan and the U.S. formed a fast allegiance, their bond has been tenuous at best over the last several decades. In fact, while in the past there were brief periods of reconciliation, it seems that those periods of peace are fewer and further between. Pakistan cannot simply be ignored. The threat of terrorism is too real. Public opinion is split on the matter. Some think that without Pakistan, we would not be able to get anywhere in Afghanistan, and others fear what will happen if Pakistan is lost as an ally to China. However, there are also those who feel like Pakistan is too much part of the problem to be a part of the solution. So what does the future hold for the U.S.-Pakistan relationship? If something drastic doesn't change, it won't hold anything good. There is so much distrust between the two nations, overcoming it will be a steep uphill battle, and both parties would have to solidly be on board. The U.S. would need to sever all ties with India, and Pakistan would have to figure out how to lead without corruption and the support of terrorist organizations. In short, it doesn't seem like things will get better between the two countries anytime soon. Here are the works that I cited for the information and the pictures. Thank you very much.